In the first video lesson on using printf, we discussed how printf uses format strings, format specifiers, and arguments to control console output more than was available using just print and println. In this second video, we'll continue that discussion with an introduction to string variables and the String.format method, which uses the printf aspects in exactly the same way. Let's look at a program example, similar to the one we started with in the first lesson, but using a string variable called s instead of just a string literal, assigning to the variable the value George, and then using it in a printf statement. We'll learn in more detail about string variables in a later lesson, but for now we'll keep it simple. Variables provide more flexibility in that changes can be made in output statements more easily, as you can see in this example. The first value assigned to the string variable s was the name George, and then the variable is used in the printf statement instead of a string literal. This is new. Now the variable s can be changed or reassigned during the course of a program, and then reused in the output statement, producing a different result based on the change that was made. Here you can see exactly that. We reassigned s to contain the name Martha, and then used an exact copy of the first output statement to produce a different result, this time with Martha instead of George. This provides a glimpse into a new and powerful way programs can be written using variables. Now let's talk about the String.format method, which works just like printf. The entire printf style parameter list is assigned to a string variable using String.format, and then that variable is output. Do you see it? Study it carefully. This process provides even more flexibility for your programs as they increase in complexity. The formatted string example is now saved in a variable that can be reused several times without having to redefine the formatted string each time. This example shows a brief summary of several of the concepts we have learned about in formatting output using printf. It also shows a sneak preview of some other printf features we'll learn about in the next lesson. Pause the video if you need to, and study this example carefully. By the way, the plus signs enable you to cut and reconnect strings that get too long for the editor window, but still keep them together as one long string. This use of the plus sign is called concatenation, which we'll study in more detail in a later lesson. And now, you can use string variables and the String.format process to use all the tools and processes you learned about in the first printf lesson, giving you even more flexibility and power to control your output.